Show. What real independent journalism looks like. What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show.
Right here? Right now.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the MG Show. Welcome, Shady Groove. It is January 22, 2026. Shady.
Episode 14 already.
Oh my gosh.
Only like 250 more to go. Welcome. I thought I stalled him there.
No.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh,
because the winning, sir, I know, but the winning will continue, and it's going to get more intense, by the way. Like the more that you win, remember that means they are losing. And we are here to report to each and every one of you the beautiful winning that is occurring every day, that the people that don't want you to believe in your country and the people that want to turn you into a doom and gloom cynic, they don't want you to look at this stuff. It's just too good.
No. Real quick, guys, thank you to the people in Rumble. A-Pal's here, missing
Me So North.
Thank you very much. Miso North is here, and Naked. Lincoln Logger's here. What's up, Lincoln Logger? Scottish Anon. We got Prairie Dogger. We got Lost in Thoughts. As I swear I've touted this show on every platform there is. Thank you so much, United States of Q. Hello. Shiny. Cram is out there. We got Miss Monster, Miss Me Audrey. Liberty's out there dropping it. I Can Handle the Truth. Good morning. Over on YouTube, youtube.com/InTheMatrix with 3 X's. We've got Debbie. Barney is out there. Liberty's out there also dropping some links and stuff. You want to follow that one and check the links out for her that she drops. Effectual Insurrection's over there. Tammy's over there. Sparky's over there. Jennifer's over there. Who else is over there? Say hi, and maybe we'll shout you out. But we love you guys. Lisa's out there too. Welcome. And we're also on any one of your favorite podcast platforms. We're on Facebook, YouTube, finally, True Social, we got the links there. We're in Telegram, we got the links there. You got, but live, we're on X, YouTube, Facebook. My gosh, Shady Groove, just everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere and nowhere.
Yeah. Everywhere and nowhere, because we get, and the algorithm is crazy. I want to take a second real quick to wish a very beautiful couple a happy 21st anniversary. There's Donald J. Trump with Melania Trump, and they celebrate their 21st wedding anniversary today.
Congratulations.
Yeah. How awesome is that?
Ready to come out.
What's that?
Her movie's getting ready to come out.
Yes, I think at the end of this month, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be in my town.
Well, wow. You better be packing when you go to that one.
I was going to say, they even play pro-Trump movies out here.
Wow, Pack.
Believe it or not, it's actually like a lot of these movies get a lot of attention here. People are starved. People are starved in this area for anybody that will stand up and act like a true American and not be a weak politician.
Yeah. I also want to just take a quick second, Shady, because we've been featured in his videos a few times. Scotty Martin, Alan MA1508687. I'm just going to show you that. It's heartbroken to learn about our brother, Scotty Martin, passed suddenly last night from heart failure. He had a heart attack, apparently. His very last post was that powerful Doors montage, The End, sinking truth bombs on rigged elections, open borders, corrupt media, and the awakening we've all been a part of. But, brother, it's not the end. Your videos lit fires in countless Patriots. Your highlights tab is a living archive of red pills and hope. You fought hard, woke many, and now you're watching from a better place. We keep fighting. We finish what you helped start. The Republic rises because of voices like yours. Rest in peace, Scotty. Shine on, friend. And this is, the montage. I can't play it because YouTube will, get me. But this is the last video that he ever did called Doors, the Doors, The End, Shady Groove. And it is the end of globalism. He's spot on, guys. We are, people are, on the left, reeing about the speech, but, people on that are paying attention, Shady, are not reeing. We're actually understanding what's happening. Shady Groove. Wow.
God bless you, Scotty. It's an Anon that has been here since close to the beginning, maybe right after the very beginning, and putting out great content the whole time. Never what I would consider a true Anon, not an operator, a person that was actually found the drops, a person that was excited about them and wanted to create content, much like what we did around what we understood and how the different things tie into history. And he had a real knack for grabbing that kind of emotional moment of like what was going on and utilizing the videos to show you. One of the first people really that kind of took a approach of like the music being the backdrop and just kind of like presenting the information, allowing you to read the different things that people had posted on social media and discern for yourself sort of where the whole movement was going. So hats off to you, sir. God bless you. Rest in peace. Godspeed. We will continue the fight in your name and we will win. Yesterday was an amazing day. I started the program off yesterday, the broadcast off saying that globalism is dead. And Donald Trump's speech did not let me down.
No, it sure did not. It sure did not. Also, we've got, my God, Shady. We have got Jim Jordan giving us a pesky Q-proof, Shady Groove.
This was an interesting back and forth, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I want you guys to listen because Jim Jordan actually grilled Jack Smith about his decision to use Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony. Did emotions cloud his judgment, Shady?
Mm-hmm.
Because Anons knew about this in 2022. In fact, on June 29th, 2022, this was posted. What is at stake? Who has control? Surprise witnessed. Who was surprised? Who will be surprised? Use your logic. Can emotions be used to influence decisions? How do you control emotions? Define plant. How do you insert a plant? Can emotions be used to insert a plant? Who is Cassidy Hutchinson? Trust the plan. Q. And let's go ahead and play this because it's epic, Shady.
Yeah, you make your own discernment. We won't tell you what to think.
Yep. Q post 4958. That's right.
A special prime time hearing Tuesday, June 28th, 2022, 8 o'clock in the evening. And she told some stories. I mean, these were some stories. She talked about President lunged across the back seat, grabbed the steering wheel, tried to drive the car to the Capitol. And I just want to know, you think she was lying?
Chairman Jordan, my assessment of that particular issue is that with respect to the testimony about the president lunging towards the driver, my recollection of her testimony about that is that it was secondhand. She had said she'd heard that from somebody.
You familiar with the name Tony Ornato?
I'm sorry?
You familiar with the name Tony Ornato?
Yes.
White House Deputy Chief of Operations, Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations, right? You remember what he said about it?
As I sit here right now, I do not.
Yeah, he said it didn't happen. How about Bobby Engel? You familiar with that name?
Yes, I am.
Secret Service agent who was actually in the car that day. You know what he said? He said it didn't happen. And they both said the first time they ever heard this story was when Miss Hutchinson testified in the primetime hearing as their star witness of the January 6th committee. By the way, did you ever confirm her testimony about this particular incident?
We conducted, as I said before, our own independent investigation of all aspects of the case that we thought was relevant. We, attorneys from my office.
Did you ever confirm it? That's a simple question.
Well, we interviewed, or I should say, attorneys in my office before.
Did you ever confirm the president leaping across the seat, grabbing the steering wheel, this whole concoction she brought up in the January 6th hearing? Did you ever confirm that?
Right. We interviewed another firsthand witness who was in the car who did not confirm that had happened, but also...
in your deposition to the committee last month, Mr. Smith, you said this: my recollection with Ms. Hutchinson was a number of the things that she gave evidence on were secondhand hearsay. You remember making that statement to us last month in the deposition?
I did, and I was referring particularly to what we're talking about now.
Yeah, and you also said Ms. Hutchinson, regarding this particular claim, was a second or even third-hand witness. We asked you, if you were a defense attorney, how would you handle cross-examining her if she was on the witness stand? And you said, if I were a defense attorney and Ms. Hutchinson were a witness, the first thing I would do was seek to preclude her testimony because it was hearsay. You remember saying all that?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
That's correct, right? Were you going to put her on the witness stand if you ever got to trial?
We had not made final determinations as to who we were going to call as a witness. We had a large...
You were still considering her?
We had a large choice of witnesses in this case.
Are you familiar with what Washington Post reporters Carol Leonnig and Aaron Davis said in their book? They did this book, 300-some pages book on Chronicle and the whole investigation of the Justice Department. And here's what they said on page 310. They said, Jack Smith had wondered whether some of Hutchinson's claims might be relied upon at trial. Still, at one point, Smith told the elections team he wasn't ready to give up on Hutchinson's account. Ultimately, however, Trump administration officials uniformly, fiercely disputed her accounts under oath. Prosecutors on your team told Smith they wouldn't want to use Hutchinson as a witness in court, and Smith agreed. Are Carol Leonnig and Aaron Davis, who wrote this, are they lying?
My recollection is that I certainly had not made any final determinations about who we were going to call.
And that's the point. That is the point. The fact that they used her in a primetime hearing and you won't rule out using her, didn't rule out using her, putting her on the witness stand when everybody knows she wasn't telling the truth, that says it all. That's the degree the left and Democrats were willing to go to get President Trump, putting on the witness stand someone everybody knows is making it up. Everybody knows that.
In prime time.
By the way, you know how many times Cassidy Hutchinson was mentioned in their report, the January 6th report? Any idea, Mr. Smith?
I do not.
185 times. Someone that the whole country knows wasn't telling the truth, and you were still considering putting her on the witness stand because you had to get President Trump. And everybody can see that. We better take a recess for votes. We will resume as soon as votes are over. Back here 10 minutes after. Ms. Smith, you guys can go back to...
Wow. So, very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like a Robert Mueller wearing a mask or something right there.
You know, it's actually Liz Cheney, right? So we have, let me just go ahead and refresh my page because we have this is an ongoing pesky Q proof, okay? But let me go ahead and refresh this. Hang on one second. There we go. Because I had to repost something after I searched it. Let me just get it. All right. So this is interesting. Something went wrong, but don't fret. It's not your fault.
You didn't mess up, man. It was their technology. At least they gave you the out.
Oh yeah,
I see it.
Wow,
you're doing great. How are we broadcasting if your account's not on?
Oh boy, did X go down? All right, so let me just read this to you because I can do a better job at it. So Basically, right, Liz Cheney referred for criminal investigation for witness tampering related to the J6 star witness Cassidy Hutchinson. They left out the part about Flynn and Stone. Remember that, Shady?
I do. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So that's the breaking part. There's an error. So I guess X is down right now, guys.
Wow. That would be interesting considering that Jack Smith is up there giving his testimony today, and the whole world that saw the J6 committee live in prime time isn't going to even be able to see this as it's going on in prime or in daytime.
On Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Cassidy, Hutchinson, Stone.
Down for me here, too.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm going to check.
All right. So, all right. So this is interesting. So, Cassidy Hutchinson is a former White House aide who served as top assistant chief to Mark Meadows during the Trump administration. She gained national attention for her bombshell testimony before the House Select Committee. First-hand accounts from President Trump's actions and demeanor, right? She says, I don't care that they have weapons. They're not here to hurt me. You know, that's what she's saying. That here's this, the altercation in the limousine. She testified that she was told by Secret Service official Anthony Ornato that an incensed Trump tried to grab the steering wheel of the presidential SUV, the Beast, and lunged at the Secret Service agent when told he could not go to the Capitol. It's a lie. Wow.
I just paint that picture in your mind for a second. The unbelievably under control person that you know to be President Trump lunges forward, pushing Secret Service out of the way, reaches through the barrier between the front seat and the back seat of the SUV to grab at the steering wheel, thinking that he's going to guide the car toward the Capitol in the streets of DC without Bill. You want to do a category on Jeopardy of behavior billionaires don't display? That would be one of the main ones. Things billionaires don't do.
So I want to continue on the Q proof about plants. Okay, Michael Flynn was a plant. Okay, according to the Q proofs, if you really look at the Q posts. But this is a Rolling Stone article. Trump told Meadows to call Roger Stone and Michael Flynn day before the Capitol attack for some strange reason. Former Trump advisor he wasn't even in the 2016 campaign, guys, okay, has ties to the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. He probably told them to stand down, and Roger Stone was snubbed. So there is the connection to Cassidy Hutchinson, because she actually testified that the president had the chief of staff call political operative Roger Stone and General Mike Flynn the day before the Capitol attack. These people are sick, Shady.
Yeah, and they have an agenda, and they think that they're getting one over on everybody, because everybody out here, you know, we know what Trump thinks about these people. We can see clearly what Trump thinks about these people. But everybody out here, they have thinking that, oh, he's like on their team, or they're somehow like helping him.
Yeah.
That's the optic. That's the perfect optic. That's the reason they thought they'd get away with J6. But, you know, we were discussing yesterday, you know, we think that that Colonel Matthews is a bit of a bulldog. We don't think that he's just going to sit around and let all this stuff go downriver.
No, absolutely not. And did X work for you? Is X down? Anybody?
It worked for me, Jeff. It was up for me. Just
it's
now.
Back. Yep, it's back. But it just needed to, you know, it was just like, wow. Okay. So it is back. Okay, guys. So again, this is the breaking. Liz Cheney referred for criminal witness for tampering. Okay. She's the one that insisted that Cassidy Hutchinson be in there. So did her emotions were used and the emotions about, I can't stand Trump. Is Cassidy Hutchinson a plant? Who helped get that plant? Who misinformed that plant? I mean, I think we're learning a lot right here, right now.
Or who gave Cassidy Hutchinson that story to like bring over to them so that they would stick her front and center and say, oh, look, this is our little China doll right here. Oh, Here, look, our precious. Well, your precious was kind of screwed up, wasn't it?
Yeah. Shady, they've been
reading about no arrests. We got a couple today.
Yeah. Well, but no matter, let's just make the point before you go into this story with everybody, so that we're all on the same page. It doesn't matter if they arrest 40,000 people tomorrow, and it wouldn't matter if they were all high-profile people that every single one of you had heard of. They would still go to social media the very next day and tell you that it's not enough. It's not good enough. It won't substantiate. We're still going to lose. It's doom and gloom. Sea lion noise. That's exactly what they're going to do no matter what we do. We need to accept that so that we can move into the golden age without their garbage so much on top of us.
Yeah, that's so true. This is one of the arrests right here. It is a BLM activist and leftist coordinator who stormed the Minnesota church, Nikema Levy Armstrong. Pam Bondi said, quote, "So far, we have arrested Nikema Levy Armstrong, who allegedly played a key role in the organizing and coordinated attack on the city's church in St. Paul, Minnesota. We will share more updates as they become available, and we do not tolerate attacks on places of worship." This is the actual person here, and you can see her here in the video. Right here. Right here. There she is. And she's a white saviorism, is a form of white superiority. And if you believe, this is what they're saying about people, guys. It's ridiculous. Oop, play. It's ice out, right? Yeah. Get out of my church. Get out of their church, guys. Also, Shady, there was one more arrest. Let me just go ahead and get this one. This is a St. Paul school board member, Chantil Allen, is the second arrest. Shady, check this one.
But this is the beginning of what's going to happen here. When you violate people's due process, when you pull people off the street, you start dragging them and hurting them and not abiding by the Constitution, when you start doing all of that, people get upset and angry. And if you remember what the Civil Rights Movement was about, the Civil Rights Movement was about these very kinds of protests. And for some reason, in our modern era, people think that in order to have protests, you got to be, cordoned off to a certain area and, what time you can protest. There's nothing in the Constitution that tells you what time you can protest. You can protest at any time. That's the whole point of it, is to disrupt. It's to make uncomfortable. And that's what they're doing. And that's what I believe when I say everyone has to be willing to sacrifice something. You have to make people uncomfortable in these times. If you see how uncomfortably and how harsh people are being treated on the streets, you have to be willing to go into places and disrupt and make people uncomfortable.
Blah, 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 blah.
No, I mean but he's telling you everything you need to know right there. Everything he's saying, you do not have the right to use your protest and to stop forward progress from any other business in this country or any other person or any other person's access to the road or to the public parks or to anything. You do not have the right to disrupt. You have the right to peacefully assemble. Peacefully assemble does not even say protest. It says peacefully assemble. That means you are able to stand there like a numbnut with a sign. Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, you go out and you convince people that your ideas are better than the ideas. And so you inspire people by your better ideas to go vote for your ideas because your ideas are better than the last idea that we voted for. That's the way the system works. This right here, think about it. If it had been, let's just say, a whole group of white guys walking into a Southern black church, or let's say it was a whole group of Muslims walking into a Jewish synagogue. Is that okay? Are we going to allow that? Because it's no different. This country and COVID really screwed people's minds up because at no point should they have been able to say you can't go to church. And that's what they did during COVID. And that really just gave people this block in their minds, like, no place is sacred. Well, this place is sacred. This place is sacred to this country. And it doesn't matter if you're Jewish, or Muslim or Christian. These places are sacred, and we deem them sacred, and we do not do what foreign countries do.
Yeah.
This is insane, guys. And Don Lemon standing there and telling you exactly what the communist left is going to do and what they're willing to do. They think it's their right to destroy, disturb, and demoralize your society for their agenda.
Yeah. Here's Chantil Louisa Allen. Look at it. There she is. And she's been charged with conspiracy to deprive rights for her role in the St. Paul, Minnesota riots right here. Check this out.
Lockup's in there. We'll bring her in. She'll stand off to the side. I know this only because I just did it once.
Perp walk.
There'll be more.
I got to tell you, I almost thought it was Don Lemon. Look at this right here. I'm like, is that Don Lemon? Like,
he actually put on a couple pounds.
like, geez, Don Lemon, what's going on?
But don't think that it might not be. It very well could be, because he was aiding and abetting. He was going to get coffee. He actually went to the church and was scoping out the scene and coming back to the group and reporting to them about what he had saw there. So there's an accessory aspect of what he's doing. We'll see if they get him too.
And here's the cuffs for Nikema Levy Armstrong right there. Perp walk, Shady Groove.
Do you think that they think twice about interrupting church service this coming Sunday? Because they've got a lot of things on the agenda, Jeff. You know, they got lots of big plans for tomorrow, big plans for the weekend. I think that they had some other plans to go into some churches, but I have a feeling that they don't.
Yeah. Arrests coming, guys, and they're happening. And a lot of people don't understand that the arrests that they're doing, DHS.gov/wow, that's the criminal network for the D party and the foreign and domestic billionaires, guys. You are seeing arrests.
That is why they're so animated, because they are arresting their people in the streets. That's the reason that your side is screaming and yelling, there's nothing happening, Chicken Little. And the other side is screaming and yelling, you don't have the right to go out here and remove illegals. Even the Black Panthers are saying, we're not going to get between ICE and illegals.
That's right. That's right.
Even they've got enough freaking sense.
Yeah, remember we showed the one Black Panther saying that we're going to have guns and, we're going to escort them and all that other stuff. Here is it could be a different faction. I don't know. The original Black Panthers as well. But listen to this guy.
Our stance is, for illegals, we're not going to step in front of that. That's not our fight. That has nothing to do with us. We're not going to step into that fight and going through the community defending somebody that we didn't even want to be here.
Yeah. They don't want the illegals there, guys. You get it?
Are we going to unify?
Seems like
it. Can you agree with the Black Panthers right there?
I actually agree with that guy.
I agree with him also.
Because these illegals are harming his community, my community, the Hispanic community, every community. And your taxpayers' dollars being shipped out to Somalia and other places that want to they don't like you guys, okay?
Well, and also, let's just mention while we're on the topic, they're not just harming our communities, they're harming Europe. They're harming the communities all around the globe. This illegal trade, this illegal slave trade, basically, is what it's called. Let's call it what it is. It's a slave trade where they're moving illegals from third world countries into first world nations so that they can have a whole slew of cheap labor. Okay, let's call it what it is. Like I read last night, Jeff, the number one name. Let's see if you can guess. What do you think the number one name is right now in England? The number one name they're naming their children?
Trump.
Muhammad.
Oh, damn it.
I knew you weren't going to get that. That was a funny guess. Muhammad in England, in the UK, that's the number one baby name. Trump told him yesterday in his speech where he said, you better stop with the globalism. You're losing everything. Right now, you're losing everything. It's getting ready to reach the point where it overtops in Europe. and they lose their society. So in other words, if you think about like what do you call it? The Mongols from the things that you read in history. What do they do whenever they sack the city? Okay, well they're taking over major countries in a way that you're not seeing, and Donald Trump has put a stop to it here.
Yeah,
but it's been happening.
It's happening. Far left agitator Nikema Levy Armstrong for orchestrating church riots in Minnesota, and I hope they get every other person that was with him, including Don Lemon. Lemon.
I saw that Nicki Minaj had some funny Don Lemon memes. She had the memes of Don Lemon like his head was a lemon. And his eyes were like, he's like crying. Like, I was like, wow, she's really going all in.
MAGA Mimi says, it's happening. It sure is. It is happening, guys. And, how far are they willing to go? Okay. It's going to be interesting. And now, it was interesting, Shady. I listened to Raskin, his opening remarks, and he lied his hair plugs off, Shady.
Hail off. Yeah.
No hair plugs.
Hair plugs was good.
Yeah. He said he had cancer, and he was getting hair plugs.
he was
they can't even tell the truth about that. Anyway,
he was on a flight to Turkey.
Jesus. These people are lawless, guys. They spied on Republicans. We caught them all. We have the entire spy op here on the MG show. I even got the spy op post, right? We have it all. They're lying. So they want you to think that the violence perpetrated on January 6th was you. Mm-hmm. It wasn't you. Chief Sund admitted that it was Charles Flynn who didn't like the optics of the National Guard being put in there. Nancy Pelosi said, I should have had the National Guard in earlier. It's my fault. She said it's my fault. You've got all these lies. And then you've got Roger Stone, General Flynn, Oath Keepers, Proud Boys out there running an op. Mm-hmm. To make you look violent, guys. That's what happened. This was a Democrat-run op.
And I'd like to take it even a step further and just ask you, let's say, so if the military generals stand down the National Guard, how do you paint that as a Fedsurrection? I just want everybody to realize that everybody's like gotten this nomenclature in their head, Fedsurrection. Was it a Fedsurrection if it was the military that stood down the National Guard? Because in all reality, what's going on there? It looks to me like a coup. It looks to me like a color revolution coming from the internal operations of the United States military to allow that to happen to the Capitol for optics. We've got that on sworn testimony that it was optics, the reason they allowed the Fedsurrection to occur. So the Fedsurrection was the cover story that Nancy Pelosi and Raiklan and Gamble and Flynn and Alex Jones were all participating in, right? But you had to have the flip. You had to have the breaker get tripped. What's the breaker? Stand down the National Guard. Therefore, it's a military coup against a duly elected president after they stole the election from him.
Yeah. And then they wanted to pin it on him.
And they did pin it on him to the point where we're sitting here talking about it today with this jackass Smith guy who like literally looks like, he's like got that 1,000-yard stare. It's like, where are you, dude?
I know. I mean, and I listened to the entire Jamie Raskin, his testimony or whatever. He was setting the stage, but he was saying, and then these MAGA people, Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, were beating up Capitol Police. What about the protesters in Minnesota beating up federal law enforcement agents? I mean, you can take what he's saying and overlap it on there, and he is eviscerating his own side.
Boom.
Does that make sense?
Boom.
Yeah. Wow.
It's not hard to untangle this whenever you use your common sense and you make normal judgments about events that have happened. It's clear as day.
Yeah. So let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. And I know that they took a break and they're back now, but we're going to go back in time because we didn't see it here on the show. But I want to actually just show you this.
10 years, for a decade, the country should never, ever forget what they did. Over the next few hours, we're going to hear a lot of yelling and screaming, I assume, from the other side. But we should never forget what took place, what they did to the guy, we the people, elected president twice. It all started in 2016 when they spied on his campaign. Clinton campaign hired the law firm Perkins Coie, who hired the public relations firm Fusion GPS, who hired a foreigner.
Now, he's going over the Q spy op post, Shady.
That's exactly right.
Christopher Steele, to put together the fake dossier. Bunch of garbage in that document, but that was used by Jim Comey's FBI. And we all know Jim Comey. He was the guy who just last year was strolling along the beach when the good Lord had the waves wash up on shore seashells in the formation of 8647. That guy took that dossier to the FISA court, lied to the court, and then spied on the other party's campaign. This, of course, led to the Mueller investigation, 2.5 years, 19 lawyers, 40 agents, $30 million to find nothing. No conspiracy, no coordination whatsoever. Then it was impeachment 1.
Perkins Coie, Fusion
Anonymous
GPS. Look
whistleblower.
at,
We couldn't even know who was bringing the charge against the guy they were trying to take it. The guy we elected, were they trying to kick out of office? We couldn't know. Secret hearings in the bunker, in the basement of the Capitol. Again, nothing.
That's even a Q post. Who was in the bunker? Okay, we've got that, guys. I mean, it's all here in the Q drops, but Q is bad, Shady.
Or misinformation.
Oh, but yet we're hearing that it's
accurate.
It's past.
Look at the number of memes that are being posted on your Department of Labor site or a couple of other government entities are explaining.
I'll address that today, Shady.
Yeah, you're going to go. We're going to. Donald Trump is now pandering to the Q people. Let me explain something. Let me explain something to you guys. It's not pandering. Donald Trump created. It's Donald Trump's base. You nuts think that you're Donald Trump's base? No, we are Donald Trump's base, and we are not just localized to America. We're all around the world. There's millions and millions of us. No, they don't. We're not organized, but we are everywhere, under every freaking rock. We read these drops, and everybody read them. Millions and millions of people, and millions of people understood them just fine. They didn't start broadcasts, but they understood them just fine.
I talked to Q.
Yeah, I know you did. How's that?
You guys are the Q and I. He called me English intel agencies. No, it was Mossad. Yeah. Dividers you guys are. And Shady Group, it was interesting, like, how, they wanted to usurp the Q movement. That's exactly what they tried to do. They infiltrated.
Because their network already existed. And I think that's the whole reason for it. The whole reason for it was to force the network that was broadcasting by omission. The way that the Alex Jones stuff works is by omission. They omit things so that they can get outraged over things. You see, it's fake outrage. I've always called it faux outrage from like years and years ago. It's faux outrage. There's a difference between fake outrage and righteous indignation. The difference is there's a basis of what you really believe or you really think. Like, I wouldn't be here doing this that I'm doing today with him if I didn't think that he believed what it is that he believed. If I thought that Jeff was faking and not really thinking or believing what it was he said every day, I wouldn't be here. You see, these people are different, like Candace Owens or like the Ryan Mata guy or all these other nuts on Twitter. They're opportunists.
Yeah.
You go where the wind blows.
All right, back to Jim Jordan in the beginning of this hearing.
It was impeachment 2. No secret hearings here because they didn't have any hearings. It was the snap impeachment, and the Senate trial actually took place after President Trump wasn't in office. Then, of course, it was Alvin Bragg, who said before he got elected district attorney that there was no case here. Then he gets elected and changes his mind when the left starts pressuring him to go after President Trump. He hires Michael Colangelo, former Democrat National Committee consultant, and the number 3 guy at the Department of Justice. Then, of course, it's Bonnie and Nathan.
Bonnie.
Nathan Wade in Fulton County, Georgia. We actually deposed Mr. Wade, one of the most interesting depositions I've sat through. We said to him, you know, you billed taxpayers in Georgia thousands of dollars for meetings in D.C. with the January 6th committee and with the Biden administration. And we asked him some questions. Who'd you talk to, Mr. Wade? He couldn't remember. We said, where'd you meet? Did you meet the Capitol? Did you meet the White House? Where'd you meet? Couldn't remember that either. We said, were these meetings in person, on the phone? Did you have a Zoom meeting? Couldn't remember, couldn't remember, couldn't remember. We finally just asked him, did you really come to D.C. and meet people? He said, oh yeah, I came. And I billed the taxpayers. I know I came. There's no idea who he talked to or what he did. Then there was the raid on President Trump's home, you know, where they searched Barron's room and the First Lady's closet. In our deposition with Stephen D'Antuono, head of the FBI Washington field office, he told us none of the normal process, none of the normal protocol was followed in the investigation. He said, first of all, the case was run out of D.C. Normally you run it out of the Miami field office. No, we're going to run it out of D.C. He said he recommended, and the people in the FBI at the time in the Washington field office recommended they give the president notice before they do the search, or at least when they got there, before they start the search, call the president's lawyers, ask them to come there and meet them and conduct the search together. Again, the answer from Maine Justice was no. Which brings us back to Mr. Smith. On November 18th, 2022, 3 days after President Trump announces he's running for president, Attorney General Garland names Jack Smith special counsel. One of the first things Mr. Smith does is put on his team the very people responsible for the raid on President Trump's home. The very people. And then Jack Smith also puts on his team the people responsible for getting the phone records of dozens of members of Congress. People like Thomas Wyndham, who, when we deposed him, took the fifth 71 times. We've actually referred him to the Justice Department for obstructing our investigation. Jack Smith then gets a gag order in his investigation on President Trump from Judge Chutkan without filing a single affidavit with the court from a witness or a potential witness that they felt threatened by statements from the president. Stop and think about it. Jack Smith restricts the speech of the former president while he's a candidate for president. Thank goodness Mr. Smith was slapped down on appeal and the order was changed. In fact, just 2 weeks ago, the Washington Post editorial page, Jack Smith would have blown a hole in the First Amendment. I just want to read 2 sentences from this. Mr. Smith seemed unconcerned about interfering in the democratic process by seeking to muzzle a candidate for high office. 3 appellate judges, all nominated by Democrat presidents, ruled that Mr. Smith's proposed gag order infringed on President Trump's First Amendment rights. And of course they did. And this wasn't the only time Mr. Smith lost in court. In the classified documents case in Miami, Judge Cannon held that Mr. Smith was not permitted to be special counsel. Jack Smith was never properly appointed. In fact, he couldn't be properly appointed because he was never confirmed by the Senate for any position in the executive branch as the law requires. Here's what Judge Cannon stated. Quote, the special counsel's position effectively usurps that important legislative authority, transferring it to a head of department and in the process threatening the structural liberty inherent in the separation of powers. And of course, on July 1st, 2024, the United States Supreme Court ruled that President Trump had immunity for actions taken in his official capacity as the president. 1 month later, after this decision by the Supreme Court, Jack Smith files a superseding indictment on August 27, 2024. But Mr. Smith doesn't stop there. He does something unprecedented. On October 2nd, he files a motion with the court before President Trump's defense counsel has even responded to the indictment. Everyone knows the normal process is the government indicts, the defense responds with some motions, and then the government responds to the defense. But Mr. Smith skips the second step. And the brief that he files is 165 pages, almost 4 times the court limit. Even liberal Judge Chutkan, who's given Jack Smith every...
Yeah, so he goes on, he continues, but basically it's the whole thing, man. It's the whole thing. And Anons have known, we've known, but yet they had to censor us, so we couldn't tell you. I mean, it's really that disgusting, Shady.
What we're seeing right now is the gross underbelly of a system that tells you that no one is above the law while they operate as if they are exactly above the law. Every single thing they did to initiate the J6, everything that they did to initiate the special counsel, he just explained it right there. Whenever they had to get Ken Starr way back in the day, you saw the whole process play out in front of you where they had to go to the Senate and the Senate had to approve the special counsel, and the special counsel then began his work in the Clinton investigation.
Yeah,
which obfuscated it effectively, like focused completely on the wrong thing. But still, there was a process and you saw it happen. This didn't happen that way. And the American people just completely jump right over that so that they can say Trump bad. That's the reason that the media is the enemy of the people.
Orange man bad, Shady Groove.
Yep.
So this guy eviscerated Jack. Check it out.
Your deposition, quote, "I thought I was the right person for the job." Of course, some disagreed. Constitutional law professor Jonathan Turley, for example, has said, quote, "Jack Smith has a reputation for stretching criminal statutes beyond the breaking point." I assume you disagree with that statement by Professor Turley.
I do disagree with that statement. I think my career speaks for itself. I have been.
But that statement was also, and I'm sorry to have to interrupt, I just have a short amount of time. That statement was also echoed by the United States Supreme Court in a unanimous opinion in McDonald versus the United States, where the court overturned convictions that you had pursued against a former governor, criticizing your boundless interpretation of the federal criminal statute. At issue, that opinion was joined by Justices Ginsburg, Breyer, Sotomayor, and Kagan. So do you also disagree with that statement by those justices?
I have conducted my career in a nonpartisan fashion. That particular case, the legal position that the department took, that wasn't my personal position.
Does anyone believe he was nonpartisan?
I do.
You do?
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah. Completely nonpartisan. He was like, he was, what was the guy's character? Oh man, I can't remember. The investigator. Oh my God. What's the show? I can't even think of it. Dragnet. What's the guy on Dragnet? That's the investigator we got here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember Dragnet, but cool.
I can't remember his
story,
name.
bro.
No.
Here we go.
During my time on this committee to review the work of 2 special counsels, John Durham appointed during the Trump administration, and Robert Hur during the Biden administration.
And he also targeted the Tea Party people, according to Mike Hess. That's right.
He did.
And in both cases, they seem to exhibit that humility and restraint that we talked about. But in reviewing in detail the way you conducted this investigation, I see a very different mode of operation. One that sought maximum litigation advantage at every turn, one that repeatedly circumvented Constitution to the point that you had to be reined in again and again throughout the process. For example, shortly after you became special counsel, you issued a subpoena for the phone records of the Speaker of the House of Representatives over a 2-month period, along with for other senators and representatives, even though the public integrity section at DOJ cited litigation risk to doing this. What was that litigation risk?
With respect to the toll record subpoenas that we issued, they were approved by the public integrity section. The public integrity section, in approving those subpoenas, noted the fact that the subpoenas were for records for people who were not targets of our investigation.
But they said there was a litigation risk and you moved forward with it anyway. And not only that, but you also sought orders from judges making it so those who were having their records seized would not know about it. And you even didn't tell those judges that it was members of Congress whose records you were going after, in apparent contravention of a federal statute saying that a telephone provider for a Senate office shall not be barred from providing notice that the records had been requested. Now, if you sought to do that today, would you be able to get away with that, with asking the judges for a non-disclosure order without telling them these are members of Congress?
When we secured these toll record subpoenas, it was done consistent with department policy. You're correct in that that policy has since changed.
They changed the policy based upon the actions that you took. Similarly, you issued a gag order against President Trump that the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals vacated as overbroad. Is that correct?
Well, the D.C. Court of Appeals, in passing on that order, found that it was justified. They narrowed the order, but they confirmed that the phenomenon...
They narrowed the order because it was overbroad. In addition to that, you sought an early trial date that the district court rejected, and when you presented your prosecution memo to Attorney General Garland, it's been reported that he was visibly unimpressed and expressed First Amendment concerns. So, Mr. Smith, looking at the record, I see that you were reversed and rebuked by the Department of Justice itself, by the Attorney General, by the Solicitor General, by multiple district court justices, judges, by the Court of Appeals, and by the U.S. Supreme Court itself. So my final question is, do you believe that you made any mistakes? Do you have any regrets as to how you conducted this investigation?
If I have any regret, it would be not expressing...
The hardworking people that worked on the case. He's an idiot, guys. He's been busted, guys.
Busted hard. and even more stuff's just now coming up. Jordan was just asking him about the $35 million, and he's trying to say that he paid money to people he doesn't even know who they are for information. So think about that. The federal government is like acting like they're giving money to people that they don't know. It's basically like they put up a notice on Craigslist. Anybody that wants to say something negative about Donald Trump are willing to give you thousands and thousands of dollars. Contact us here. Like, what are they talking about? You've either got a case, you've either got people that are making testimony, and you've built a case, or you do not. It's like they want us to like swallow this hook, line, and sinker and not even have a single question.
What does swallow have to do with anything?
Swallow this.
Oh, gotcha. Deranged Jack Smith. This is from Donald J. Trump just a couple of minutes ago. Deranged Jack Smith is being decimated before Congress. It was over when they discussed his past failures and unfair prosecutions. He destroyed many lives under the guise of legitimacy. Jack Smith is a deranged animal who shouldn't be allowed to practice law. If he were a Republican, his license would have been taken away from him, and far worse. Hopefully, the Attorney General is looking at what he's done, including some of the crooked and corrupt witnesses that he was attempting to use in his case against me, a.k.a. Cassidy Hutchinson. The whole thing was a Democrat scam. A big price should be paid by them for what they have put our country through.
Amen.
Wow, huh?
Yeah, because it's all about you. I know that they make it about Donald Trump. But the reality is the way that they're treating Donald Trump is no different than the way that they would treat you. The reason that they're upset at Donald Trump is because he's giving you power. He's saying things that you think. He's giving you an example of how to be stronger. If you are stronger, then they become weaker. And their weakness is now on full display because whenever they were up there doing the J6 committee and they had their little primetime program and everybody was like, giddy. And they were all like having a little time of their lives, putting on the little parties every night after they would go on television. Well, they were in the height of life. But now you're seeing what that really was. It's all fake. It's all optics. And all of the Democrats have is optics, top to bottom. There's no substance to anything. Everything has always been an optic, which means it's a house of cards, which means it has no substance.
Not only do they have optics, they have corrupt judge. For example, judge rejects Justice Department's initial attempt to bring charges against Don Lemon. A federal magistrate judge has rejected the Justice Department's initial attempt to bring charges against journalist Don Lemon for appearing alongside protesters who breached Minnesota church over the weekend, a source told CNN. Quote, the Attorney General is enraged. I mean, this is CNN, okay, so let's just take it for what it is. It is enraged at magistrate judge's decision. A person familiar with the matter says Attorney General Bondi has been on the ground in Minnesota for 2 days, meeting with federal prosecutors from the state. Lemon was at the church. He has said he was present at the demonstration as a journalist, okay? The Justice Department has arrested 2 people involving in the protest, and CNN has reached out to representatives for Don Lemon, and the Department of Justice could always try again to bring charges against him. Don't give up. Do not give up.
Wow. Yeah, because Matt, more than likely, I'm just speculating here, more than likely, the grand jury has returned.
Journalist, okay?
More than likely, the grand jury returned indictment for Lemon, and the magistrate stepped in the way. I may be wrong about that, but it's very, very likely that that is what has occurred. The judge can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cram. Thank you for all the subscriptions. You've done a lot of them. Thank you very much for that. If I missed anybody else, I apologize. Thank you for supporting the MG Show. We need you guys. And we need you to help us help you, and we appreciate it. And we'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages. More to come.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back in stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get our MyPillow bed sheets, only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings, regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. How about our My Towels? They're finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first time and the only time ever, get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and designer gusset. Queens $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
My Pillow is excited to announce they're having their biggest 3-in-1 sale ever, with a limited edition product, a back-in-stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. My Pillow bed sheets, only $29.88, any color, any style, any size, even kings. Regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. My Towels are finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first and only time, get their limited edition premium My Pillows made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queens, $17.98. Kings, only $19.98. Also, for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you will receive free shipping plus $100 in free digital gifts. So go to mypillow.com or call 800-873-0478 and use promo code MGSHOW. Use your promo code for the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
Guys, this goes out to Scotty Martin. This is his last video that he made. Rest in peace, friend.
It's a war that should have never started, and it wouldn't have started if the 2020 U.S. presidential election weren't rigged. It was a rigged election. Everybody now knows that. They found out. People will soon be prosecuted for what they did. It's probably breaking news, but it should be. It was a rigged election. You can't have rigged elections. You need strong borders, strong elections, and ideally a good press. I always say it. Strong borders, strong elections, free, fair elections, and a fair media. The media is terrible. It's very crooked. It's very biased, terrible.
Rest in peace, friend.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my only friend. The end of our elaborate plans. The end of everything that stands. The end. No safety or surprise, the end. I'll never look into your eyes again. Can you picture what will be? So limitless and free. Of some stranger's hand in a desperate land. Lost in a romance, wilderness of pain, and all the children are insane. All the children are insane.
it's very, very ironic that Governor Newsom, who strikes me as Patrick Bateman meets Sparkle Beach Ken, may be the only Californian who knows less about economics than Kamala Harris. He's here this week with his billionaire sugar daddy, Alex Soros, and Davos is the perfect place for a man who, when everyone else was on lockdown, when he was having people arrested for going to church, he was having $1,000 a night meals at the French Laundry, and I'm sure the California people won't forget that. And I can tell my message to Governor Newsom is the Trump administration is coming to California. We are going to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse. And I was told he was asked to give a speech on his signature policies, but he's not speaking because what have his economic policies brought? Outward migration from California, a gigantic budget deficit, the largest homeless population in America, and the poor folks in the Palisades who had their homes burned down. He is here hobnobbing with the global elite while his California citizens are still homeless. Shame on him. He is too smug, too self-absorbed, and too economically illiterate to know anything.
Thank you very much.
Let me know if you need any further clarification.
Scotty Marr, thank you so much. What a great video, and ironic that it was the Doors, the end. And, guys, it's just, we liked him. We've talked to him and, I've talked to him in DMs. He remained neutral on certain things, and I won't mention what it is, but we are heartbroken to learn that Scotty Marr has passed suddenly last night from a heart attack. And his very last post was that powerful Doors montage, the end, sinking the truth bombs on rigged elections, open borders, corrupt media, and the awakening we've all been a part of. And God bless you.
It is really like a revolution type event that we've been through for the last 7 or 8 years, where we've tried to stand up for what is good and right for the American people. And it's very, very interesting how difficult the established system on both sides makes that for normal Americans to actually stand up for what is good and right and to profess that you're here to defend what is good and right. Like you are here to defend women in society. You're here to stand up for children. You're here to defend people who have been murdered due to illegal immigration. You're here to say that you don't want any drugs in your streets. You're here to say that you don't think that there should be X amount of criminal activity allowed. Those types of thoughts that you're having are what the establishment deems the problem. And I think that we've established that the last thing in the world the establishment wants to do is to fix any problem. So what do they do for your problems? They exacerbate them, right? So that you look more crazy, so that we look more lacking of being able to do something about it. Like all of these different things to demoralize on both sides. What happens if we start to stand up and all do what Donald Trump is doing every day? Let it roll off your back like water on a duck. Stand up whenever the going gets tough. Fight whenever you get shot at. You don't cry and dig into the corner and curl up into a ball. You fight, you stand up, you move forward, you say, they didn't get me now. And that's exactly what we're all going to do for Scotty. We're going to stand up for him and we're going to keep moving forward. And we're going to do what he intended for us to do, which is get this country back in the right direction.
And, and he was part of this movement for a long time, Shady Groove. Pretty interesting.
Yep, he was.
Well said. I appreciate that too. Prayers up. He's in God's arms now. And, it's hard to, when you actually know somebody, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And YouTube will probably censor that video, but we'll go ahead and just mute it out or whatever, the song or whatever, but we'll do what we got to do. But I felt I just wanted to play that.
Every single one of us is on a journey home.
Yeah.
So one day we all go home.
Yeah.
And I'm, looking forward to that day.
So, you know what? I think we need to, we swear a lot.
No, we don't.
What?
No.
So we swear a lot. Oh, we just got to do, you know what I'm saying?
Got to put your money where your mouth is, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So we got the F-bomb jars today, and the F-bomb jars is in the chat today. You've ever had, one of those moments, guys? You ever have one of those moments where an F-bomb is absolutely justified, but you don't feel like blowing up your entire life today? I love these. Yeah, that's the moment. That's why this exists. It's called the F-bomb jar. You drop one silently, no yelling. No consequences. All impact with none of the fallout. Deploy responsibility or don't. We don't judge. You'll see it on screen. Slam the QR code or click the link below and use the Rumble 10 for 10% off your entire order at thingsofholding.com. I love these guys.
I love these guys. You did it backwards.
Well, these guys.
That's better.
Okay. I freaking love these guys. Shady,
you can't stop now, can you? You're like you're on a perpetual motion machine.
Were you swearing again?
Nope. I don't swear.
Oh my gosh. So let's go to some serious stuff. There's a lot of people that are really pissed off at the President Trump's Board of Peace Charter, guys.
Oh, you mean all the people that kept telling me that Israel was puppeting Donald Trump and that he was a stooge for Bibi and that he was getting one over on all of us because he's really a globalist? Those people?
Yeah.
Oh.
Those people.
They're a dime a dozen out there.
So let's just go to the portion where he starts signing. Let's listen to a little bit. This is huge, guys, because, a lot of people were there, guys, that were not our allies before, and they're allies now because Trump went in and said, hey, let's do business together. And when people and countries and are prosperous, hopefully those leaders of the countries will allow that to flow down into the population. And, people just got to understand that, a successful country breeds peace, guys. It's very simple.
Yes. And just think about if that was the way we oriented the world. Instead of all the people that you saw meeting at Davos, instead of them thinking that what they had to do was engineer scarcity amongst humanity so that they could keep their cushy little positions and stay away from society because they're all more wealthy than all of us put together. Well, maybe it's time for them to see a different side of life. What do you think about that?
I think so.
I think
it's worth it. Corey for Truth, bananas. Thank you so much. $17 Rumble rant. And Lydia says, because you are awesome.
Oh, why are you bleeping out Lydia?
Well, you read it then. Read it.
I'm not going to read it.
I'll bleep you.
I know you would. You would do that to me. You're bestie.
Because you are fucking awesome.
I heard it through the beep.
No.
Oh my God.
All right.
Please put your children away.
Here we go.
Oh.
This is the Board of Peace annual meeting 2026. Was Bibi there, Shady?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't even think he knew it was happening.
Is Bibi moving Trump's arm to sign it?
Yeah. Well, it's animatronic Trump. Yeah. So Bibi sent him out. It's actually Optimus dressed as Trump.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is actually a very historic moment in the world, guys.
It is, because you've been inundated with this BS your whole life. This virtue signal over gossip.
Congratulations, President Trump. The charter is now in full force, and the Board of Peace is now an official international organization.
Thank you very much.
We will now continue the signing ceremonies, beginning with the President of Argentina and the Prime Minister of Armenia.
Watch this as he brings the country together as the globalists try to destroy us and tear us apart at the seams.
United.
He's uniting the world, and they're trying to divide us, including all of the operators.
YouTube went down, Shady? Yeti?
I don't know. I see frozen.
All right, somebody said YouTube down, but it looks good, Yeti.
Next up, the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Bulgaria.
Wow.
Azerbaijan. I had such a hard time with that. Azerbaijan.
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 Stop the war.
Oh,
Botswana. Oh, wait.
Botswana. Thank you, Yeti. Oh my God! Now that's in my head all day.
Freedom, 357 Freedom. This rate of the drip is increasing. My advice to those that know, do not anticipate when the flood will occur. Enjoy the drips, for they lay the foundation for the flood of information that is coming. Good advice. Appreciate
Next,
that.
the Prime Minister of Hungary and the President of the Republic of Indonesia.
La 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 la.
Botswana.
And now, the nations of the world, brought to you by Donald Trump.
Gonna get it.
United States, Canada, Mexico.
Next, the Deputy Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Jordan and the President of the Republic of Kazakhstan.
ISIS, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Iran. The oil is all over the place. China.
You got to have some fun, guys.
Oh man, that's so good. The world is watching. We should act like professionals over here. Sorry.
Next, the President of the Republic of Kosovo and the Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan.
Wow, guys.
This is unbelievably historic.
I mean, this is worth the watch, guys, just to see how they respect President Donald J. Trump. Could you imagine if our mainstream media respected them as much as these leaders did, Shady?
Yeah, well, I was actually saying that yesterday. It's like, what would it be like if the media were to actually do this stuff that they do to Republicans, to the Democrats at the same time? Why can't they just do it to both sides and it's all even?
Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname.
Wow. Botswana.
Pregnant pauses don't do good for the hair.
Next, the President of the Republic of Paraguay and the Prime Minister of the State of Qatar.
Wow.
This is all of these countries making an investment into the future of Gaza, by the way, everybody.
Yes.
Participating in the rebuilding of Gaza outside of the interest of Israel, mind you. This is like poking Bibi in the eye, if you will. But they won't report that. All of the Mossad networks, they won't tell you that.
Next, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Turkey.
So let's just go Argentina, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Hungary, Indonesia, Morocco, Pakistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, guys. Belarus, Egypt, Israel, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Paraguay, Turkey, Uzbekistan, Vietnam.
Next, the chairman of the Executive Authority Affairs of the UAE and the president of the Republic of Uzbekistan.
Many traditional U.S. allies like Canada, UK, France, Germany, Italy, and other European nations declined to join or were absent from the signing, often citing concerns over the structure, costs, a reported $1 billion for permanent seats. That's what they paid, guys, $1 billion for permanent seats. Potential involvement of figures like Russia's Vladimir Putin, who was invited, but Russia did not confirm joining. There's a lot going on, guys. The initiative remains evolving, and a complete and final membership list may not be fully settled yet. Can I keep the pen? Look how amazing this is. I mean, Shady, I don't think, other mentions are Albania, Mongolia, Bahrain, also noted. It's a new international initiative.
And last but not least, the Prime Minister of Mongolia.
Proposed by Donald J. Trump, initially focused on overseeing the ceasefire, reconstruction, stabilization in Gaza following the Israeli-Hamas conflict. It has been expanded in scope to promote global peace and conflict resolution. Some view it as a potential alternative to complement the UN. No, it's overriding the UN, guys. The formal charter was signed during the ceremony that we're seeing here at Davos at the WEF in Switzerland on January 22nd, 2026.
It's a big deal because effectively that what Donald Trump has been doing.
Congratulations, everyone. This concludes the signing ceremony. If President Trump and all of the Board of Peace members could please join the president around the table. The president is now going to sign the inaugural resolution that will resolve the Board of Peace's Gaza mandate per the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2803.
This is historic, guys. Really, Shady, it is. I don't think I can stress this enough. The Board of Peace.
No, because like what I was going to say was that the UN is supposed to be doing stuff like this. This is supposedly what the UN was created to do, but you can clearly see that that's not what they were doing. UN should be eliminating these wars. They didn't. Donald Trump is doing everything right now that the UN should be doing without them because they're a feckless organization.
Congratulations. If President Trump and all Board of Peace members could please take their seats in the front.
All right, and we'll leave it at that, guys, because it is historic. It is huge, guys. Wow. And I don't know if you guys noticed, you couldn't really see it, Shady, but there was something very interesting that somebody that follows me noticed. Let me
notice.
You know how we've got the podium that he was speaking at, correct? Like you saw it, and it's hard to see, but we've got a close up of it. This is the actual logo, okay, that has on there, and this is a snake, right? Doesn't that look like a snake in the mouth of the eagle? I know it might look like it's holding the banner, but it actually resembles a snake a lot, right? Doesn't it?
I can't really see it, but I'll take your word for it because I can't zoom in from the angle that I'm at.
Yeah. So
that does kind of look like, yep, I see it now. From now I can see it. Yep.
And it looks like, so basically if you look at that, it's the mighty eagle devouring its threats, guys. Remember POTUS reading the snake poem. Trump just launched that historic Board of Peace at Davos. America chairs it. Bypasses the failing UN. 1 billion buy-in for real players. Already 25 plus nations locked in. Pakistan, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kosovo, and Botswana. No.
Not Botswana.
Not Botswana. But look at the new seal. It's the American eagle. It looks like a snake in its beak. Total symbol of strength, crushing competition, and the old globalist games, guys. This is peace through strength. And I'm telling you, Shady, it's, what was the poem that President Trump read all the time?
The snake poem?
The snake. And the snake was about illegal aliens coming into your country. They're acting like they're neighbors, but they want to harm you and they'll bite you.
Yeah, I think that it was the Somalis.
Yeah. Bannon will say it's an earthworm.
Yeah, I'm sure that Bannon has lots of opinions.
That was funny, Hess. It could be the eagle cutting the strings, cue ball, right? I wonder how many of these little horns, right? Guys, very interesting. So, just real quick, this is in New Hampshire. Let me just play a little bit of it, guys. It's the snake.
I think that it's good to mention the reality of what it is that we're seeing here. Whenever you talk about this this situation on the global scale, none of you have lived a second in your life without this being an issue. You understand that, right? Like they've been using this. Okay, so let's just think about it in the same categories we're thinking about North Korea, understanding that North Korea is a fake boogeyman state. Same thing with Iran, a fake boogeyman. Therefore, you can use lots of virtue signaling, lots of fear mongering. What's going on in Gaza? What's been going on in Gaza the whole time? The exact same thing. Hamas is controlled by Mossad. It's controlled by the clowns in America. Okay, that's the way that this works. It doesn't go the opposite way. There's not like some sort of ending of the rabbit hole that's different than that. That's where it all starts. The stem leads to the root, and the root is the root. There's nothing past the root. And that's what I think that a lot of people don't realize is like they're trying to look for something else whenever they've already got the answer right in front of them. And I think that Donald Trump's ability to simplify this, this whole question of who is the enemy, starts to not matter whenever we start to do the right thing. Does that make sense? It doesn't really matter who the enemy is whenever we start to do the right thing, because the main goal is to force the enemy to lose.
I got to play this real quick. Here we go.
Have a thing if you want. Has anybody ever heard the snake? This has to do with the border. And this has to do now with Israel because of what happened. Should I do it or not? Thanks. Okay, I thought you might be in a hurry to get the hell out of here. Nobody's in a hurry, right? So this has to do with borders. It has to do with bad people coming in. It has to do with people coming in from jails and mental institutions. And now it even pertains to Israel. What happened yesterday was incredible. I mean, so many people killed. I don't know if you can hear, but the number was much bigger than they reported even this morning. It's a very big number, very, very big number. And vicious, too. Vicious. Young children just slaughtered. It's terrible what's going on. So this is the snake. And people love it, and I do it if people want to hear it. Some people have heard it, some people haven't. But we'll do it, right? On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you, right? Order, people coming in. I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, cried the vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you truly would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying, thank you, ma'am, the snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, cried the vicious snake. Oh, this is so sad to hear. Look, she's crying in the front. Don't cry. Learn from this. She's crying. I saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me. But why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut up, silly woman. said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. That's what's happening on our border. That's what's happening on our border.
That's what's happening on our border, guys.
That's what's been happening to our country for decades and decades and decades, going back to before McCarthy, going back to even before World War II, going back to even before World War I. Yeah. These people were at it at a fever pitch to keep you ill-informed. That's the reason that they were able to create the Fed, and that's the reason they've been able to steal all the wealth. Literally, guys, I want you to understand this. All the wealth that was accrued for the 100 years between the late 1700s and the early 1800s has disappeared in the last 100 years and gone back to the people that we fought in the Revolutionary War. That's the game board that Donald Trump is currently reorganizing so that what he's trying to do is he's trying to turn it back around. In other words, the Revolutionary War directed the funnel towards your pocket. Since then, they've been directing the funnel away from your pocket. Donald Trump is trying to put the funnel back in your pocket, if that simplifies it a little bit. For the flow of the flow of wealth should go through you, not through the globalist elite.
Breaking news. Justice Department charges journalist Don Lemon along with 7 others over the church protest aimed at ICE agent from Politico.
Must have found themselves a different magistrate.
Uh-huh.
Journalist.
Yeah,
but I also told you that they probably already had the indictment and the magistrate tried to jump in front of it, which would mean all they'd have to do is take it to another magistrate. More than likely, that's what happened. I still don't know for sure, just guessing, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Wow, guys. William Kelly is now in custody, according to Attorney General Pam Bondi. Our nation was settled and founded by people fleeing from religious persecution. Religious freedom is the bedrock of this country. We will protect our pastors. We will protect our churches. We will protect our Americans' faith. And look at this, Shady Grove.
White supremacist. The pastor of the church is a fucking ICE leader in the city. As you can see, pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. So, Pam Bondi, you want to come and arrest me? You want to come and give me charges? So be.
Ha! Okay. So we did get him, Yeti.
Yeah, we did get him. And now, being all jealous, all these people that are living the lavish lifestyle, guess who doesn't have money to afford a lawyer?
Yeah.
These people are disgusting, man. You act like that. You act like that just because people gather into a church that they're somehow like living lavish lifestyles. Let me take you down home, back where I grew up, to the people that go to church. They don't live lavish lifestyles, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry to say, the people out there that live lavish lifestyles, rarely you find them in church.
And that is a future proves past. Yeti thought he was already arrested. He's in our show meme today. Yeti, you have a future proves past.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And here he is in his perp walk. William Kelly is being charged with conspiracy to deprive rights, a federal crime, and violating the FACE Act 18 U.S.C. 248 for his involvement in the St. Paul Church riots. Thank you, Christy Nome. Thank you, AG Bondi. Thank you to the FBI and all those that.
Do you think that they'll get the memo that you can't protest in a house of worship? I'm wondering if they're going to get that memo.
Probably going to double down.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Remember when they said burning a flag is going to be? They went out and burned more flags.
Well, remember whenever they told them not to take Tylenol?
They took more Tylenol. Don't take Tylenol, guys. Okay?
It's not like we can predict the future or anything. It's like whenever your people talk about how did Q know a lot of these things? Well, you can predict stupid pretty easy. It's hard to predict what intelligent people are going to do. It's very, very easy to predict what dumb people are going to do.
I'd like to also just say, how did Q know all these things? Maybe because it was part of a real Donald Trump operation, and Donald Trump knew intimately what they were doing, how they were doing it, how it happened to him.
And then what they would do in the circumstance that they were confronted by it. They will deny it. They will try to cover it up. And once they try to, what always gets you? You almost never get caught by the crime. It's almost always the cover up.
Yeah. Red Pill Pusher says it will be interesting to see if Ivan Raiklin and Flynn cover this. I'm guessing they will say something, but it will be immediately jump to saying not enough, and it should be Waltz and Frey and all that other Fry and all that other stuff. Yep. Yes, they're going to spin it to make it look like Pam Bondi isn't doing her job. But you guys got to remember, the wheels of justice turn slow, Shady.
Like I said earlier, they could arrest 40,000 people today, and these people will not consider it enough. There is no full. There is no satisfaction. This is part of the way they psychologically operate and manipulate you, because they sit there and they pretend like this is a real opinion whenever it's a manufactured opinion out of the reality that you're just always against whatever is happening.
Also, to change gears here, do you remember the New York Times, Wall Street Journal article saying that Trump has tapped Jamie Dimon, whatever his name is, Dimon, from JP Morgan Chase. He's the CEO. Remember they said that he was going to being tapped by Trump for Treasury Secretary?
Yeah, I've heard that from a bunch of these idiots.
Yeah, well, Trump sues JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon for $5 billion over alleged political debanking.
I would imagine that he would not hire him for the Federal Reserve chair.
Come on.
I mean, we can still keep going with it, right? You keep holding on to your thread of psychological operation, but I guarantee you that will not be the nominee for Fed chair.
Can we just stop lying, Democrats and fake news media?
What are they going to do? What would they do if they didn't lie?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the alternative? Like to not spin a story?
Yeah. Barricade 59 Highway says treason is on the lips of every Democrat in Congress today. Memories of these criminals are not forgotten. Amen. And they're trying to do the 25th Amendment. They've been trying to do the 25th Amendment since 2016, guys, on Donald J. Trump. They won't get him. Why didn't they do the 25th Amendment on the auto pen? Because he was on their side. Trump is going against the deep state and the globalists and the bloodlines, and they want him gone, guys. Not going to happen.
Oh, well, I think you just solved it. So the auto pen was the president. And so because an auto pen is an auto pen, it doesn't really age. So there is no deteriorating faculties of the auto pen.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it now. So that's why they were.
And the auto pen was the shadow presidency by Barack Hussein Obama.
By the way, some interesting commentary out of Big Mike over Obama's running for president.
Yeah.
She's it's completely throwing him under the bus.
So the question was, to Michelle, Big Mike. So if Big Mike, if Hussein, your husband, runs for president, if Trump changes the law for a third term, will he throw his hat in the ring? And she's like,
Not with me as his wife.
Yeah, he wouldn't win anyways. You guys act like he would win. You guys have vote fraud, and the vote fraud is going to be done, guys.
She was literally out there day before yesterday saying to go through your closet and look up whoever it is that manufactured your clothing and throw out all the white people manufactured clothes. I mean, this is what these people think about. Everything goes through. They say that you're the racist, but every single thing that they say, they put this filter on of racism in and racism out. In other words, they don't say anything that isn't considerate of their racism, and they don't hear anything that comes in that they don't filter out through their filter of racism.
Mohap.
And it's a big one too.
Oh my God, I've seen it flopping around on Ellen's show. Remember when she was like, I got my Twitter account suspended because of posting her going from the mansion that they have in DC into a car, and she was like, moving the furniture,
free balling.
Oh my God, guys. Wow. All right, let me just go see this. This is something has to be done about fake polls. They are truly out of control. We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have the strongest border in history. Nobody has ever done a job like I have done, and they have me in the low 40s. The Democrats destroyed healthcare. I'm trying to fix it. And they give me fake low numbers, fake polls on the economy, on the border, on just about everything. And are ridiculous and dangerous. The real polls have been great, but they refuse to print them. This is no different than a writer who is corrupt, of which there are many. The New York Times and so many others print polls that are knowingly false. They have become deranged and sick. They suffer from a major case of Trump derangement syndrome, TDS. Their 2024 election coverage was so bad and wrong, and yet they never get called out for it. But I am calling them out with the lawsuit that I have filed, which is making its way through the courts. They have to pay a price for fake and fraudulent news, and hopefully in the not too distant future, they will. The end of MSM, libel laws, Shady Groove. Here we go. They're libel. They're lying.
Guess who's not going to be around to do what they love to do during midterms? This is my prediction. I have a sneaking suspicion that their licenses are going to be removed. And we already have PBS and NPR being defunded and deciding to shut down their doors. And also now that we're seeing this move into play, they have to give equal time. Exactly. That's what I was going to say. They have to give equal time, and they have not been doing that for years and years and years.
Yeah. Equal time. And that's The View and
Kimmel.
Yeah.
Just to mention two. I mean, but we could move into other networks. It's not just about ABC, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, the nonsense coming out of Seth Meyers and whatever that other doofus is, not Fallon, but the Colbert.
Yeah. All of them, guys. Really, all of them. I mean, you can have your view as long as we have our view.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I mean, why can't we have a pro what's going on type of program?
Well, that would be because the networks, Jeff, are completely 100% controlled by the elite globalists who wield the globalist hammer against you, and they would in no way ever support a populist nationalist movement that secured the rights and the property of the American people over foreigners. They could not accept such terms.
Wow.
I would say it was probably the sticking point there.
Wow, guys. Wow.
It's a good question.
Unbelievable. And how many companies own all these media companies? What, 6?
6.
Interesting. Wow. Unbelievable. Cram, thank you. The single most important thing to do in this life is to discern and find the truth for yourselves, for it is the way to God. R.I.P. Scotty Martin. God bless you. Thank you.
It is. That is very, very true. That is the pathway to God. Because what happens is whenever, you're younger, you get led astray and you have to find the pathway back. And the only way you're going to ever find the pathway back is, number one, to be honest with yourself. Number two, be honest about your behavior and what it is that you've done, because you are 100% guilty of everything that you've ever done. Yeah. And then be honest about what it is that your actions cause, the effect of your actions. If you are a lying scumbag, then the effect of your actions aren't going to reflect the truth. If you're truthful and honest, then the effect of your actions are going to reflect that you're truthful and honest. Then you can start to discern where you're really at. But until you realize and understand and admit that you are, in fact, guilty of everything that you've ever done, you will not find the truth.
And, it's so amazing, when you're going through this, awakening process. All I want is the truth, whether I like it or not, Shady.
Yeah, right. Your opinion about it once you get it is irrelevant, right?
Yeah. And I try to find that truth, and real people, people that don't have a motive per se or an agenda will change their tune on select people, select, ideas, select, policies if you get information that changes your perspective.
Yeah. That's the only way that we ended up being isolated, was because whenever we were starting to find information that we felt like no one else had, what we realized is that it wasn't that no one else had that information. It was that everybody was intentionally omitting that information so that they could go out and implement faux outrage. Yeah. You see, they omit what it is that they know to be true, because pretending to be upset about something whenever you know something that's already to be true that you're upset about and going the opposite of whatever it is, you have to ignore the truth, don't you?
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason that we get so animated around these people, these operators, because they are playing fast and loose with the truth 24/7. They utilize it whenever it benefits them, and they ignore it whenever it doesn't. It's called exculpatory evidence.
Yeah. Wow. Unbelievable.
Another thing that Q taught a lot of people about that nobody had any idea what it meant.
And then Trump schooled everybody on his master class with Greenland. Even NATO agrees with him. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, we're buying a big ice sheet, man. Come on.
Yeah. Is this another one? This is another one, Shady.
What do you got?
Fake and fraudulent polling should be virtually a criminal offense. As an example of the anti-Trump media that covered me during 2020 election showed polls that were knowingly, there's that knowingly, Shady, knowingly wrong. They knew that what they were doing, trying to influence the election. But I won in a landslide, including winning the popular vote of all 7 of the 7 swing states. The Electoral College was a rout, and 2,750 counties to 525. You can't do much better than that. And yet, if people examined the failing New York Times, the ABC fake news, NBC fake news, CBS fake news, low-rating CNN, or now defunct MSDNC, polls were all fraudulent and bore nothing even close to the final results. Something has to be done about fraudulent polling. Even the polls of Fox News and the Wall Street Journal have been, over the years, terrible. These are great pollsters. There are great pollsters that called the election right, but the media does not want to use them in any way, shape, or form. Isn't it sad what has happened to American journalism? But I am going to do everything possible to keep this polling scam from moving forward, Shady. Wow.
This is going to be a bedrock part of the future. To like, what if? Let's just say, for instance, what if we could get these polls engineered to where they actually functioned and they actually took a poll from like Main Street America? They didn't call all of these same phone numbers within New York and LA and all of these Chicago and these city centers where they call the same number every time because they know what opinion they're going to get from people. Mm. But we could actually use the artificial intelligence aspect of reality and start to generate real polls from real voters who actually have an opinion. And let's see what these real polls start to say, because I have a sneaking suspicion that, things like transgender is a 90-10 issue. Things like closing the border is a 90-10 issue. Things like men being in women's spaces are a 90-10 issue in reality that they make you look like is somehow a 60-40 issue.
Yeah. WFW22, I don't have this confirmed, but somebody was saying, they were saying that Ivan Ranklin and former J6 cop Michael Fanone got into it in the courtroom, which led Jim Jordan having Fanone thrown out, Shady.
Oh, it figures.
That guy's a clown.
Both of them are.
I do not support Ivan Ranklin in one way, shape, or form. He's an idiot. And he was out there. He was sitting there yesterday behind Nick Shirley. Him and Stuart Rhodes were sitting there behind Nick Shirley. And then they put out a picture of them with Nick. So if you have any contact, if anybody has any contact with Nick Shirley, it'd be a good idea to maybe give him a little bit of insight into who idiots are and to stay away from them, because what they're trying to do is to taint him and his information by associating with them or showing that he's associated with them. And then here we go today. And they might be trying to control him with Stuart Rhodes. And by the way, like they've already done this a couple of times where Ivan Ranklin brought Enrique Tarrio to a location where this Michael Ferrione guy was so that he could try to get, how do you say it? Fanone, where he was at the location so that they could try to get Enrique and him in a back and forth. And so now he's up there with Stuart Rhodes on Capitol Hill trying to make it about them and their J6 riot, not what was being done to Donald Trump by Jack Smith. That's right. They were behind it. Shady, I got a Rumble Wallet ad real quick before we get out of here. Check it out. Wow. Here we go, guys. They can freeze your accounts. They can shut off your cards. They can lock you out of your own money overnight. Banks don't protect you. They control you. That's why real financial freedom starts with ownership. Introducing the Rumble Wallet, a non-custodial wallet built for people who refuse to give up control. With Rumble Wallet, you just don't want to buy digital currency like Bitcoin. You just don't buy it. And Tether, you can own Tether Gold, real gold on the blockchain. Tether Gold, you get direct ownership of physical gold bars. Each one fully allocated, verifiable serial number per purity and weight. This isn't paper gold. This isn't an IOU. This is real gold without bank vault, storage fees, or gatekeepers. You can buy, sell, or move 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when traditional gold markets are closed. And if you want, Tether Gold can be redeemed for physical gold. That's the power, guys. And when you support creators like us, guys, you can tip us directly by using that Rumble wallet, peer-to-peer, and outside the banking system, 100% goes to the creators. No permissions, no middleman, no cancel button. The wallet is yours forever.
Wow, another MG show in the books. We are looking down the barrel of a Friday show tomorrow, guys, where we'll be reading again from the Bloodlines.
It's Friday already?
Yes, it is. It's Friday already, but I've got even a bigger announcement. What we've done this week, we did something pretty cool. We carried Donald Trump's press conference or his statements, his speech, and now we only have one more hour of Rumble Premium to do in January, which means next Friday, a number of you that do not have Rumble Premium are going to get a look at a reading from this book, Bloodlines of the Illuminati, because we're done for January as a promo going forward. We would appreciate any and all of you that find this content important, that think that what we're doing here is valuable in your life and in your future and in your day-to-day activities to understand what's going on in a simple, succinct, non-exaggerated format where we can be upset at the things that we should be upset at, and we can ignore the people that are being upset at the things that we shouldn't be.
That's right. Magic Woman says, thank you for another awesome show, guys. Awesome show. Looking to hearing back from you. Thanks again for doing my F-bomb jar ad read. We love you, Magic Woman. Ooh, ooh, Magic Woman. We love you. And, we're giving it back to the people. It's we, the people, that we stand up for. Shady Groove, God bless you. Thank you, Yeti. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for using that Rumble wallet.
Power to the people.
Power to the people. God bless you guys.
You have a choice.
Rest in peace, Scotty Martin.
It's always been yours. A voice they can't silence, breaking through the noise. They pull the strings, they set the stage, divide us with wars, lock us in a cage. Race and class, faith and fear, they scream so loud, but we're still here. Through MG show, the truth breaks free. MG music lifts us, a rallying plea. Power to the people, hear the call ignite. Dark to light, we're stepping out tonight. They're losing grip, their shadows fade. Together we stand unafraid. Oh, power to the people. Oh, we'll never let it go. as power spreads its wings. Power to the people. Oh.
Power to the people.
Power to the people. We rise.
That's MG Music, guys. Yeah. www.mg.show. Boom.